Hello, my name's Mel Ashworth and welcome to Coffee with a Councillor. And I have the pleasure of speaking with Councillor Clive Darke today. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much indeed.
Good.
Thank you.
Could you just tell us which ward you represent, Clive, and which party?
I stand for Wirral Central and...
Which covers
the area from High Street, Wirral, right up to not Upper Bristol Road, can't remember the name.
Up on the hill?
Right up on the hill, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And which party?
Conservative Party.
Conservative, thank you very much. And how long have you been a councillor?
Well, this is my third session as a councillor.
Right.
I was originally involved with the council when the town council came into being in 2000. Oh, okay. And I was involved in it then from 2000 to 2004. Mm-hmm. And because I was still working, I then packed it in for 4 years, and I stood again just over 4 years ago.
Right.
But then I stood for Wirralbury.
Yes.
And but this time I'm standing, as I said, for Wirral Central. Yes, yeah. Which is a very interesting ward, actually.
Yes, I'm sure it is.
It is.
Which, sorry, it leads me on to the question, what inspired you to stand as a councillor originally?
Well, I've been involved with the Lions Club.
Okay, yeah.
And as you know, Lions Club is an international charitable organisation. Mm-hmm. And I do enjoy doing charity work, there's no doubt about it. And the Lions Club of Weston-super-Mare is a great club to belong to. I was approached by another councillor to whether I'd like to sort of stand. And I decided that I would give it a go. I didn't really want to stand for both councils. Well, I really
both councils being
North
Town Council and North Somerset. Okay.
Yeah. I feel that if you stand for both councils, then there is possibly a conflict of interest. I do understand the situation that it's very, very difficult for people to commit themselves to becoming a councillor. I mean, when the Conservative Party and the Labour and the Liberal Democrat parties are looking for people, it's not an easy situation to find.
It's a big commitment.
It's a huge commitment. And people are not prepared to do it, unfortunately. And of course, what happens is that because there aren't enough volunteers, then they then go for the option, well, will you stand for North Somerset Council as well as Weston-super-Mare Town Council, you see? The problem is that I feel that if you have a situation which arises between the two councils, between North Somerset Council and Weston-super-Mare Town Council, which is what we had with the museum situation, okay? If you're a North Somerset councillor, you're paid. You're paid money. I'd like to stress this. I'd like to stress that if you are a town councillor, you do it completely voluntarily.
Yes.
You don't get any money whatsoever. You don't get any expenses. If anything, it costs you money to do it.
Because you're going to meetings.
You're going to meetings.
Using petrol, using the time.
Phone, you know. But again, you go into it knowing that, and you know, and there's a lot of people on the town council which do spend a lot of time on town council business. But going back to what I was saying about dual-hatted councillors, if you've got a situation where you are employed virtually by North Somerset Council as a councillor and being paid a yearly salary, if a situation arises, like I said just now about the museum, where there were councillors who were on the town council and on North Somerset. And when it came to a vote, it was quite obvious at the time that the North Somerset, the people that were standing for North Somerset as well as Town Council, had been instructed to make sure that they voted for whatever North Somerset wanted. And I don't think that is fair. But again, as I said, it's a situation where if you can't get enough people to stand for individual councils, then you've got no option but to do what they do.
Okay. So who would have instructed them to vote?
Well, I mean, North Somerset Council obviously did want to get rid of the museum. I feel that we probably could have squeezed a little bit more out of North Somerset than we did. But I don't want to get too political on that. But I just want people to understand the difference between North Somerset Council and the Town Council.
Yes.
North Somerset councillors get paid and town councillors do it completely voluntarily.
But North Somerset councillors get expenses and some are paid, is that right?
No, they all get paid.
So they all get paid, they get voted in and they all get paid?
They all get paid, they all get a salary. It varies. If you're just a councillor, then you get a set amount of money. But if you become a chairman of a committee, then you get more.
You get, yes.
And of course, if you're on the executive of North Somerset
and then
Council,
it's different
then
again.
it goes up again.
Yeah. Okay, we've got that cleared up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sorry, just pop my glasses on. So, did I ask you what inspired you to get involved in local politics?
Well, as I say, I realised that when I was sort of in my early 60s that I was going to be retiring in a few years.
What did you do?
I was an electrician. I'm self-employed electrician.
Right.
I've been self-employed for about 35 years.
Okay.
You know. And I realised, and if you're self-employed, you're a busy person.
Yes.
You know, I've led quite a busy life, and you feel that you've got to look at other avenues to go down.
Other options.
Well, other options, yeah. So, as I say, I was approached by another councillor and asked if I'd like to stand, and I did, and I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it. The thing that I can't come to terms with the council is the time that everything takes to do.
Which is presumably a long time.
A long time.
Far too long.
Far too long. I am personally involved with the allotments in Weston-super-Mare, and of course, due to the economic situation in this country, there are lots of people who would like allotments. In fact, I think we've got a list at the moment of something like about 300 people waiting for allotments. Now, we've had a situation down at Locking Castle for over 15 years where a particular building company promised 15 years ago that they would construct an allotment site down there, build paths, put sheds in and that. But that was 15 years ago and it's never happened. Since I've been involved in it, I have fought tooth and nail really for this site, and we are at a situation now where the building company are going to actually hand the land over to Weston-super-Mare Town Council with a sum of money to convert it into, because at the moment it's just sort of agricultural land. You know, they're going to allow us to sort of put allotments on there.
Great.
But there's been, but because it's near, it's a piece of land which really cannot be used for building, because it's near the railway line.
So better that it's used for...
It's a triangle, but what's come to light now is that North Somerset Council want us to put a nature reserve on a part of it, okay? Which is fair enough, but You'd think that if they said they wanted a nature reserve is a nature reserve, isn't it?
Is that what the local people want?
Well, I mean, I don't know whether the local people want it, but this is what, as I say, this has been going on for so long. We've got to a situation at the moment, as I say, where they are going to hand the land over and they're going to give us some money to convert it into allotments. The problem is now is that North Somerset Council Planning has got involved in this, and we have been handed a file of papers instructing us on what we've got to do with this nature reserve before we're going to be allowed to do anything to the allotments. Okay, so the stipulation is you do what we want as far as the nature reserve is concerned, and then you can do what you like. Well, not what you like, but then you can then open up the allotments.
So a little bit of
well, no, I wouldn't say no, I wouldn't say it was blackmail. But what I would say is it's the grind of local government. Slow. It gets me so frustrated.
I can tell.
I'm not
Yes.
kidding you. It really does. I mean, we are getting somewhere, and we will get somewhere. But I can't say to you that come spring of next year, these allotments will be up and running, because I can't say that they will. Yeah. They might not even be up and running in the spring of 2013, because
people are very tired and disillusioned with local politics and national politics. And this is a really good example of why people are tired, because things move so slowly, there's so much bureaucracy involved.
I feel that probably allotments are not the top of the list on any council's sort of list. But
for the local people,
who
are struggling to make ends meet.
The thing is, we have got a really good allotment club in Weston-super-Mare. In fact, the allotment club now run all the allotment sites. You know, the Western Town Council oversee it, but that we have given them permission to sort of run it on their own. They manage it and they do a great job. Every single site rep that we've got on each allotment works very, very hard. Again, it's all voluntary. And because we've got such a massive waiting list for allotments, I cannot understand why they cannot delegate one person to sort out the problems that we've got as far as these allotments are concerned.
Now, we've talked about other people's hobbies. What about your hobbies? What do you enjoy doing?
Well, I haven't done it for a couple of years now, but I used to enjoy quite amateur dramatics, to be quite honest.
Ah, a bit of a thespian.
Well, yeah, I've had a bit of fun over the years.
Fantastic.
I've been doing it since. Believe it or not, when I was younger, I used to stutter.
Really?
Yeah, and apparently my mother went to the doctor about it, and he said the best thing you could do is to take up some sort of public speaking.
Wow.
And I got involved with a pantomime. I think it was back in about 1956, would you believe? And,
what part did you play?
Oh, I was the evil fairy, I think. Could you imagine that?
I can't imagine that at all.
But anyway, it has cured it. I mean, even now, there are times when you get in a certain situation when you think to yourself,
really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Now, do you have family?
Yeah, I have.
Are you a local boy?
I was born and bred in Weston-super-Mare.
Wow.
Yes, I
Fantastic.
was. I was born
on the boulevard?
No, not the boulevard. I was born in a nursing home, maternity hospital called Allendale, which I think was along the beach back in the war days. That was 1941.
Okay. And you did say you've got family?
Yeah, I've got a wife who we've been married, believe it or not, 45 years tomorrow.
Congratulations.
September 17th. I've got a daughter who is in Australia.
Okay.
And I've got a son who is married and lives in Belgium, in Brussels.
Oh, in Brussels?
Yes.
Ah.
And my daughter's got 3 children, so I've got
Yes.
3 grandchildren in Australia.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, it's
Do you
just
get
a bit
out
sad.
there much to see
Well,
them?
we do. In fact, we're going out there shortly.
Yeah.
But it's still difficult
Yeah.
to come to terms, because even if you go out there every 18 months, children grow up quickly.
Absolutely.
Particularly, I mean, my eldest grandson now is 19.
Oh, gosh. Do you have Skype? Do you?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we use all that. But
Yeah, it's not the same.
It's the time difference and all
Yes,
that,
of
particularly
course.
with Australia.
Of course.
But
Have they got strong Australian accents?
the children,
Yes.
very strong. In fact, very strong. I can barely understand them sometimes.
Oh, fantastic. Listen, do you have any people you'd love to meet at a dinner party? Some people have no one they want to meet, but others, you know, they have people dead or alive. They'll be alive at the dinner party, but that they'd love to meet.
I can't say that, I can't think of anybody offhand who...
Or people you've met in your life.
I don't think I've met anybody really famous.
They don't have to be
I
famous.
think if I had to meet anybody, I think I'd like to meet the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh, to be quite honest with you.
That sounds pretty good.
Particularly the Duke of Edinburgh.
Yeah.
I
Why?
think he's my sort of guy, to be quite
Okay.
honest with you.
What's that?
Well, you know, he tends to speak his mind a bit, doesn't he?
And do you?
Well, sometimes.
Little bird told me you do. It's not a bad trait to have. And just before we close, Clive, what can you say to young people to maybe inspire them to get involved in local politics, or to inspire them to vote? Because there's a lot of people that don't vote.
I know. I do agree with you on this, and I think it's a huge problem, because it's not only young people that don't vote.
No, it's not just.
It's all ages that don't vote, to be quite honest with you. And the way it's going, because we are in a situation where possibly only 40% of the population do vote now. It may well have to come to a situation, if you want democracy to carry on in this country, where people are going to have to be sort of made to vote. You know, there'll be some restrictions.
How do you make people?
Well, I don't know.
Make
I
it
know
legal
that,
for them not to?
I know that in other countries, you can get fined for not voting, and that. When we were talking earlier on, I did say possibly taking away people's passports for a year if they don't vote. But I really don't know.
In Australia, it's illegal, isn't it?
It is illegal, yeah.
So if someone doesn't vote, what happens?
I think over there you do get fined.
Yeah.
And if you don't pay the fine, then I think, well, I mean, what you've got to remember in Australia is that they don't have all the mucking about that we have over here, you know.
The mucking about in the sense of political
Everything.
correctness.
Yes.
And,
you know, if you are caught speeding over there, you pay there and then, and you're taken to a cash machine to pay it. And if you don't, you're banged up.
Really?
Oh yeah, they don't, you know.
They don't mess about.
They don't muck about like we do.
So we need to bring a
We
little
need
bit
to
more
bring
of that back.
We need to bring back a bit of discipline.
Get back to the
and
balance.
a bit of respect in this country. Yeah, I do.
It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Oh, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much.
I must say you've made me feel really at ease, because I was a little bit nervous when I walked in. But even if
Don't
I
ever
was-
be nervous. And that's all from Coffee with the Councillor. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mel Ashworth. Please email us your questions and your feedback. We look forward to being with you next time. Thank you so much.